Funding for the 2019 World Food Prize ceremony is provided by Friends, the Iowa Public Television Foundation, and a grant from the W.T. and Edna M. Dahl Trust.
As the sun sets in the Midwest this evening, the banners for the World Food Prize are in place on the Iowa State Capitol as we prepare for an annual autumn tradition here in Des Moines. Leaders from across the globe have descended on Iowa's capital city to honor agricultural breakthroughs and discuss the path forward for hunger initiatives. Moments ago, guests from across the world climbed the steps of the state capitol for a night of dialogue and honors, all culminating tonight in the 2019 World Food Prize ceremony. Welcome inside the House chambers of the Iowa State Capitol. Des Moines plays host to tonight's gathering of hundreds of global leaders waging a fight against world hunger issues. Hello, I'm Delaney Howell. For more than 3 decades, the World Food Prize has honored hunger fighters and their agricultural accomplishments. Tonight, we remember the legacy of Iowan Norman Borlaug, acknowledge the work of young Americans in the agricultural sector, celebrate the work of Ambassador Ken Quinn, and honor a new World Food Prize laureate. Simon Groot has empowered millions of farmers in more than 60 countries to enhance vegetable production and improve diets across the globe. Tonight's mix of dialogue, honors, and music begins now.
Please welcome from the state of Iowa, the former governor of Iowa and U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, a member of the World Food Prize Council of Advisors, Tom Vilsack. Representing the Iowa legislature, the Speaker of the Iowa House of Representatives, the Honorable Linda Upmeyer, and House Minority Whip, Representative Joe Olson. From the Iowa Senate, Senator Mark Lofgren and Senator William Dotzler. At this time, please join us in welcoming our distinguished national and international guests. The 2019 Norman Borlaug Field Award recipient from Turkey, Dr. Holly Ann Tufan. The recipient of the 2019 Africa Food Prize from Uganda, Dr. Emma Nuluyima. The Deputy Vice Minister of Agriculture from the Netherlands, Mariah Baines. The Administrator of the USDA Agricultural Research Service, Dr. Shavonda Jacobs-Young. The Administrator of the USDA Foreign Agricultural Service, Ken Isley. Representing the U.S. State Department, the Assistant Secretary of the Bureau of Economic and Business Affairs, Manisha Singh. The North American representative from the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, Vimlendra Sharon. The President of the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, and the recipient of the 2019 National Science Foundation Public Service Medal from Rwanda, Her Excellency Agnes Kalabuha. The Minister of Public Works and Transportation from Cambodia, the Honorable Shamthro Sung. The Minister of Agriculture from Rwanda, Her Excellency Geraldine Bukeshimana. The Secretary of Agriculture from Mexico, the Honorable Victor Villalobos. The Ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to the United States, the Honorable Andre Housepols. Please welcome the World Food Prize Laureate Party. The Chair of the World Food Prize Selection Committee, Dr. Gabisha Ijeta, and the Chairman of the World Food Prize Council of Advisors, Mr. Paul Schickel. The Chairman of the World Food Prize Foundation, John Ruan III and Mrs. Ruan. And now, please welcome the 2019 World Food Prize Laureate from the Netherlands, Mr. Simon Groot. Presiding at tonight's ceremony, please welcome the Governor of the State of Iowa, the Honorable Kim Reynolds. Please welcome the distinguished guest of honor, the President of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, His Excellency Felix Tshisekedi.
In the summer of 1999, as I was finishing my tour as U.S. Ambassador to Cambodia, and I had the opportunity to leave there and come home to Iowa and assume the leadership of the World Food Prize Foundation, I was literally going from the killing fields to the field of dreams. And when I got here, I found out that there were two dreams in particular that I would be expected to fulfill. Dr. Norman Borlaug's dream that the World Food Prize he created in 1986 could come to be seen as the Nobel Prize for Food and Agriculture. And John Ruan Sr.'s dream that Des Moines and Central Iowa could be the food and agricultural capital of America. I had a small one-person staff located in a two-room office down a dark corridor and the 10th floor of the Ruan office building. As I sat there, I thought, what have I gotten myself into? How could we possibly fulfill what seemed like mission impossible? But I was determined to give it my best shot. And over the next 20 years, I would endeavor to fulfill those dreams, to make the World Food Prize come to be seen as the Nobel Prize for Food and Agriculture, to make Dr. Norman Borlaug the global and Iowa hero he so richly deserved to be, but so few people even seem to know of him, to make the World Food Prize Symposium, which we renamed the Borlaug Dialogue, into the Davos of global food security, and to take the World Food Prize youth education programs and inspire the next generation of high school students, not just in Iowa, but across America and internationally, and to design and raise the money and transform the Des Moines Public Library building into the marvelous Dr. Norman Borlaug Hall of Laureates, where we sit now in the Iowa Gallery, and have it be a great linkage between the 19th century when it was designed and the 22nd century when our lease on the building will expire. And along the way, I would endeavor to incorporate music and the arts in the effort to confront global hunger. I would endeavor to make our events each October drawing people from 40 or 50 countries to bring the leading research scientists and business leaders and CEOs and government officials and smallholder farmers from Africa and South Asia, make Des Moines the place to come together for that incredible assessment of how are we doing in meeting the single greatest challenge that human beings have ever confronted. And along the way, I had opportunities to speak around the world and to meet the Pope and meet Prince Charles and be in small villages down gravel roads in Uganda as I endeavored to take the mission of the World Food Prize to all corners of our planet and inspire nominations of those individuals who could win our prize. You know, when I came, no women had ever been a World Food Prize laureate, no African, no one from Latin America. Today we have 6 women, 6 Africans, 6 from Latin America. That's not enough. We need even more, but the prize is moving in the right direction. But in looking back at the 20 years, if I were to be asked, what's one moment that stands out more than all the others, that brings all of these ideas and themes together, it would be October of 2012, when the World Food Prize was being presented to Dr. Daniel Hillel, an Israeli irrigation pioneer. And there in the Iowa State Capitol, as Dr. Hillel came in to receive our $250,000 prize in this magnificent ceremony as trumpets play and everyone stands to cheer for him. There was the Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, who had made the trip to Des Moines to be there and stand with John Ruan III and with Governor Branstad and me as the prize is presented to Daniel Hillel, who had been nominated by 3 Muslim scientists from 3 Muslim and Arab countries, a Jewish, Israeli irrigation specialist, put forward for what he had done through his work to increase the quality, quantity, and availability of food, by 3 individuals who had shown that confronting hunger and promoting food security can bring people together across even the most significant divides, be they religious, ethnic, national, diplomatic, political. And in the audience, seated side by side, are an Israeli diplomat, Princess Haya bint al-Hussein, the daughter of King Hussein of Jordan and the UN messenger of peace, and an Arab sheikh from Qatar. And behind them, various people who are Hindus and Buddhists and Christians and from other faiths, all standing and cheering and applauding for the achievements of this man. It showed that the theme of peace through agriculture, a theme that Dr. Borlaug believed in richly, a theme that I've seen throughout my professional life, can really be brought to impact even the most difficult situations. It's what the World Food Prize was created to do and what it did that night. It's been an amazing 20 years for me, but there's a lot more work to be done. I'm so pleased to leave such a structure so that can be built upon by those who will come after me and continue to fulfill those dreams.
Ladies and gentlemen, the host for the 20th and last time at the Laureate Award ceremony, please welcome the President of the World Food Prize Foundation, Ambassador Kenneth M. Quinn.
Thank you. Thank you. To everyone here this evening, to all watching on Iowa Public Television, the thousands following by our webcast around the globe, and particularly in the Netherlands, welcome. Welcome to the 2019 World Food Prize Laureate Award Ceremony. President Felix Tshisekedi, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, thank you, Your Excellency, for honoring us, for making that 14-hour flight from your home, from your country here to Iowa to be here tonight. Thank you. Join me in thanking His Excellency. And we have such a large Dutch delegation here from, led by the ambassador and from East West Seed and Wageningen University. Thank you all for coming as well. And to help us honor our laureate, Simon Groot, and I'm so glad he's here with his daughter, his two sons as well. Governor Reynolds, on behalf of our chairman, John Ruan, the third, Janice Ruan, my wife, Leigh's son, where are you? There she is. And all of us at the World Food Prize, thank you. I want to say how grateful we are to you and First Gentleman Kevin Reynolds for presiding at tonight's ceremony. Yeah. And House Speaker Linda Upmeyer, so you're like me, we're retiring at the end of the year, so I'm so pleased you could be here tonight to thank you for all of your encouragement and support, and I want to acknowledge Senator Mark Lofgren and William Dotzler and Representative Joe Olson. Thank you. Thank you for the incomparable privilege of holding our ceremony here in the magnificent Iowa State Capitol over the last 20 years. Now, I want to say a special word to Secretary Tom Vilsack, who was governor of Iowa when I came up to see him in 1999. And he didn't know me, and I came in and said, oh, can we have our ceremony here in the Capitol? And he thought, who's this sort of weird guy wants to hold his party in the Capitol? And you know, I hope I'm not giving away secrets, Governor. You know, there's a button under the desk that the governor pushes and security rushes in. Somebody who's deranged has somehow gotten in there. And I saw his hand sort of moving that way. And I said, it's for Dr. Borlaug. It's for Dr. Borlaug. And he said, why didn't you say so? Of course it's okay. And then I went up to see the Republican leaders of the legislature, and they heard Norm's name and they agreed. So. Yesterday was October 16th, World Food Day, Norman Borlaug World Food Prize Day here in Iowa, and we're so honored to have an array of international guests and 17 World Food Prize laureates. So, you know, they would make a big deal in Rome about this, but we have more life-saving achievement gathered in this chamber than any other World Food Day ceremony anywhere around the globe. So it was John Ruan III who convinced me to return to Iowa in 1999, carry forward the vision of his dad and Norm Borlaug, and it's only been with John's support and guidance, and we've been able to build the World Food Prize for these past 2 decades to fulfill his dad's and Dr. Borlaug's dreams. John, would you please stand up so we all can thank you, you and the Ruan family, all you've done for the World Food Prize and what you've done for me. John. Janice, stand up. Yes, all the Ruan family over here. You know, Norm Borlaug would often say there would not be a World Food Prize except for the generosity of the Ruan family. So it was 10 years ago that Norm left us. And at the 2009 ceremony here, just 1 month after he passed away, I decided I left open the chair that he always occupied at the ceremony. And we've continued to do that ever since, to commemorate him, his achievements, and to reflect his ongoing inspiration We know his spirit is here with us tonight. Now, there was one other person who was at the World Food Prize in 2009 and has sent a special message for tonight about Dr. Borlaug and about our laureate. Please watch.
Good evening, everyone. I wish I could be with you in Iowa tonight commemorating the life of Dr. Borlaug, but I appreciate this opportunity to say a few words about him. It's been 10 years since Dr. Borlaug died, but I think his legacy has only grown more important over these years, especially as we continue to witness the challenge of climate change. I think we can still avert the worst effects of climate change through new innovations and energy sources, but there's no doubt that some people's lives are already being damaged, including the people Dr. Borlaug devoted his career to helping, the world's smallholder farmers. Many are dealing with more difficult growing conditions, with droughts and more variable temperatures. I'm sure that if he were alive today, Dr. Borlaug would be in the field with his fellow scientists, working to produce a new generation of climate-smart crops. But I also expect that Dr. Borlaug would be traveling to places like Washington, D.C., Beijing, and New Delhi, anywhere he needed to be to persuade world leaders to give agricultural researchers the support they need. That's who Dr. Borlaug was, after all. He was an incredible combination of scientist and advocate. And I think that's what the world's farmers need us to be now. One of Dr. Borlaug's many accomplishments was helping establish the global network of agricultural researchers. The CGIAR is now 8,000 researchers strong, and it's got huge potential to help farmers adapt to climate change. But it will need more resources. The organization has set a goal of doubling its funding. I think that's a great goal that Dr. Borlaug would have supported, and I think it's one we can take up in his memory. I want to also offer my congratulations to this year's winner of the World Food Prize, Simon Groot. His work to bring high-quality vegetable seeds to smallholder farmers deserves recognition. And I want to thank all of you for your incredible work to help the world's farmers.
Well, but while Norm is no longer with us, we're so very fortunate to have three members of his family, his daughter Jeannie, son Bill, his granddaughter Julie. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for all that you're doing to carry forward your father's and grandfather's legacy to eliminate hunger in the world. So, you know, Norman Borlaug and John Ruan shared a passion, and in 1994, they added an element to the World Food Prize, a youth institute. Had 14 students, all from Iowa that year, and but they had 3 Nobel Peace Prize laureates, so it's not a bad program. Today, as we celebrate the 25th anniversary, the World Food Prize has grown significantly, our youth institute. But I thought better than me talking about it, I'd bring somebody back to tell you about what happens at the World Food Prize Youth Institute. So I looked at the several thousand of students who have gone through the Global Youth Institute, and I picked one, and I invited her to come back. She's one of the most remarkable alums of our Global Youth Institute. You may have seen her on TV as the youngest ever female CNN hero, recognized for being the founder and executive director of the Means Database, an anti-hunger nonprofit tech company operating in 49 US states, DC, and Canada, on eliminating food waste. And so far, they've eliminated about 2.3 million pounds of food. Not bad for someone who just graduated this past spring from American University. That was her college job. Please welcome, from Pella, Iowa, Maria Rose Belding.
When you're 14 and you want to change the world, your age defines every aspect of your opportunities. You're not old enough to drive, you're not old enough to vote. The World Food Prize Global Youth Institute is an extraordinary rarity in programming for gifted students, in that it's genuine opportunity. There's no busy work, there are no pats on the head. When I participated in 2012, it was the first place I'd ever been where my ideas and I were not precocious. They were full and worthy of debate. The GYI takes smart kids who ache to do something good in the world and equips them with the expertise, courage, and belief to do it. Students who participate in the Global Youth Institute also have the opportunity to apply for a Borlaug Rouen internship. Each summer, the World Food Prize sends 24 high school students on life-changing 8-week assignments at agricultural research centers in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. I wanted to apply, but as a high school junior facing serious health issues, even a temporary relocation to the developing world just wasn't safe. In an extraordinary vote of confidence in me, the World Food Prize allowed me to apply instead for the USDA Wallace Carver Fellowship, a similar domestic program that at the time was only open to college-age students. I was accepted, and I spent the summer I was 17, 1,000 miles from Pella, Iowa, working on a mycotoxin research project in Georgia. By default, I was the youngest ever Wallace Carver Fellow, and finding a facility that was willing to host and house a medically fragile 17-year-old was a challenge. Ambassador Quinn and his team went to bat for me, again, convincing the USDA to take an underage fellow without an immune system, but full of that GYI ache to do good in the world. I remain forever grateful to Ambassador Quinn for that, for Keegan and the whole World Food Prize team for that risk that they took on me. Not only for how much that research ignited my passions, but also how it aligned the stars. I met Means' co-founder, Grant, because his brother and I were Wallace Carver Fellows together. The rest, as we say, is history. 2.3 million pounds of food, a freshly printed undergraduate diploma, and 12 extraordinary young people working full-time as staff at Means Database later. I'm thrilled to be back at the World Food Prize. In a culture that often dismisses the interests and the passions of young people as self-absorption or naivete, the Global Youth Institute is a stunning rebuke of the narrative that this generation is any less overflowing with promise than those who came before us. Before I turn the stage over, I'd just like to say personally to Ambassador Quinn, you have put me in so many rooms in my life, from the IYI to the GYI to a research center in Georgia to the Supreme Court, Iowa Supreme Court chambers, curling my hair an hour ago. You have put so many of our generation in these rooms, and by putting us in these rooms, you have pushed this world forward. So on behalf of every young person that has ever been in the IYI and the GYI, I thank you from the bottom of my malfunctioning heart. Each year at this ceremony, 3 awards are presented to the Borlaug Rouen interns who've submitted the most impactful reports about their scientific research, as well as their cross-cultural experiences. The awards are presented by 2 persons with a special connection to the World Food Prize, and I know you'll enjoy meeting them. Thank you so very much.
Please welcome the granddaughters of Norman Borlaug and John Rouen Sr., Julie Borlaug and Rachel Rouen McLean. Borlaug Ruan Intern Awards are named for Iowa Agricultural Ambassador John Crystal and the late Iowa State Senator Elaine Simoniak. This year, there are 2 recipients for the John Crystal Intern Award. The first recipient is Hannah Joe, a student from Bear, Delaware, now studying plant sciences at Cornell University. Hannah participated as a Borlaug Ruan intern at the China National Hybrid Rice Research and Development Center. The second recipient from Marion, Iowa is Chase Krug. He was a Borlaug Ruan intern at the World Vegetable Center in Hyderabad, India. Chase is now a sophomore at Iowa State University, majoring in agronomy. The recipient of the 2019 Simoniak Award is Natalie Napolitano from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Natalie was a Borlaug Ruan intern at the MS Swaminathan Research Foundation in India. She is now a student at the University of Pennsylvania studying nursing and business.
Aren't those interns something? Wasn't Maria Belding something special? And there. Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much, Rachel. I'm sure your grandfathers are together watching the ceremony. I'm not sure where they get the webcast or IPTV in Green Revolution heaven, but no doubt they've got big smiles on their face. Now, there's one other group participating in our World Food Prize youth programs that are just as critical to the success of all of our youth education programs, and that's the teachers. So last year, we created the World Food Prize Inspiring the Next Generation Award, and tonight we're going to recognize 2 teachers from our Global Youth Institute programs who have demonstrated exceptional dedication. And to present the award, please welcome Norman Borlaug's daughter, a former teacher herself, Jeannie Borlaug-Lauby.
The 2019 World Food Prize Jesse Field Shambaugh and Norman Borlaug Inspiring the Next Generation Award will be presented to 2 Iowa teachers. Mrs. Keisha Kane, a teacher at Des Moines Public Schools Central Campus. Our second award winner, Mrs. Tricia A. Reichert, a teacher at Emmitsburg High School. Mrs. Kane and Mrs. Reichert were chosen for their years of dedicated service in inspiring students to participate in the Iowa Youth Institute and Global Youth Institute.
My dear father always considered himself a teacher. I know he is deeply gratified and grateful for all that you have done to inspire the several thousand students who participate in our program each year. And as he would say, keep up the good work. You are educating our future. Thank you both so much. We're very proud of you.
I know both the teachers, and I've seen the students they bring, and they're fantastic. So we have some other groups who are here tonight who are also inspired by Dr. Borlaug. We have the USDA Borlaug Fellows program. We have the newly launched Borlaug Adeshina Fellows from Africa, just launched today and supported by our own 2017 Laureate, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina and his wife Grace, and his World Hunger Fighters Foundation. And we have the Fraley Borlaug Scholar from the University of Illinois. They're all up in the Borlaug balcony. Let's recognize them. So I've got one other good youth story. You know, over the past 20 years, I've endeavored to include in this ceremony entertainment, cultural performances that bring attention to our founders, Norman Borlaug and John Ruan, our new laureates, all the while inspiring the world in the fight against hunger. I've commissioned a symphony to be written with Maestro Joseph Junta and the Des Moines Symphony. I arranged for Ray Charles to play at the ceremony when it was held at Iowa State University. Brought the Tokyo String Quartet, the finest string ensemble in the world. And 2 years ago, in an evening which made our laureate, Dr. Adesina, and his wife, Grace, legends for their dancing, and I told them I was going to get the video of this so people could see it. We welcomed Omawumi, the West African idol and Nigerian pop star. So I hope we've got the video on there of them, or else I'm in big trouble on that. Ah, here we go. This is, see? Now, huh? Yes, that's the World Food Prize. So as that was playing, I kind of cast a glance down at Simon Groot down here, and I thought I saw a worried look on his face. But don't worry, we don't have to do any Dutch dance tonight to get the prize. But you know, I have to say I'm inspired. I've been wondering, what am I going to do after I retire? Everybody's asking me. And now I know. I'm going to pioneer a TV show, Dancing with the Laureates. You know, I don't know if it'll make it here, but maybe in Africa, it's there. So, but continuing on this theme, I wanted to have performers who might have meaning to you, Simon. And I know that East West Seed operates in Brazil, where you've developed the semi-dwarf Belanova papaya, sort of like Norman Borlaug's semi-dwarf wheat. Well, we weren't able to import any papaya tonight, but we do have another import from Brazil that will bring back some wonderful memories and represents a great story. When they were 19-year-old twins living in a favela in Rio, their mother had them take violin lessons in an effort to keep them from being drawn into the gang culture. Driving to work in 2006, I was listening to Iowa Public Radio, and I heard a story about them. And we had a Brazilian laureate that year, so I said, oh, let's see if we can get them here. And somehow we got a visa for them, and they showed up, and they performed to honor our laureates. And at the end of the performance, sitting in the audience, was the president of the University of Northern Iowa, and he rushed up and he said, I'm going to give those two young men a full 4-year scholarship to the University of Northern Iowa. Well, they did that. They've been here ever since. So please join me in welcoming back to the World Food Prize Laureate Award Ceremony, the Brazilian twins. Aren't they incredible? Huh? Yes. Wow. Thank you for coming back. Every time I see them, they run up and hug me, and that's just so nice. Simon, we're so pleased that we feel is another very special tribute to you, all that you've accomplished. Hope it's a little bit of a surprise, so just watch.
I'd like to thank the World Food Prize Foundation for giving me the opportunity to congratulate Simon Groot for winning the World Food Prize 2019. It's a fully justified award for someone who committed his life to groundbreaking work in bringing healthy diets to people that were formerly deprived of this, but also creating business opportunities in rural areas across the world. You are a role model, combining science with business and an astute sense of doing good in the world. And as such, I really hope that this prize will accelerate your work and the work of the East-West Seed Company to help more people all over the world. Congratulations.
The Dutch royal family is really hip, huh? So we got the mood set now, but there's one more step before we can proceed, the Laureate proclamation. So in the Netherlands, you have a king, royal family to issue proclamations. Iowa, we don't have a king. That's sort of the whole point of our country. But we have a governor, and we're very honored to have Iowa's governor here tonight. He's a great, great friend of the World Food Prize. During her time as lieutenant governor, she was always at our events and continued to do that, support us as Iowa's first female governor. She's been a leader in promoting STEM. Every year she's been with us at our Iowa Youth Institute, at our Iowa Hunger Summit, and at our Laureate Award ceremony. So now to issue the official Laureate proclamation, it is my great personal privilege to introduce the 43rd Governor of Iowa, the Honorable Kim Reynolds.
Well, thank you, Ambassador Quinn, for that very nice introduction, and thank you for your leadership over the last couple of decades. There are so many lives that you've touched through the World Food Prize, and I add my congratulations to theirs as we wish you all the best in your retirement. On behalf of the Iowa people, it's my pleasure to extend a warm welcome to each of you as we bring the world to Iowa for the presentation of the 2019 World Food Prize. It's an honor to share this historic chamber with you, the leaders in the global fight against poverty and hunger. With distinguished international officials, government ministers, NGO leaders, agribusiness executives, world-renowned research scientists, farmers, teachers, and high school students. It's truly an exceptional gathering of people from around the globe. And what we all share is a passion for eradicating hunger through innovation, education, and empowerment. That's at the very core of the World Food Prize, and it all began with a disruptive thinking scientist and teacher who worked side by side with those he taught, cultivating the skills to feed themselves and to change their world. Norman Borlaug's legacy beats in the hearts of each and every one of us here tonight. His vision for experimental learning and scientific discovery are themes that echo through the conversations at the Borlaug Dialogue, images on student posters at the Global Youth Institutes, and in the journey of the laureate we honor. When the World Food Prize moved to Iowa in 1990, it marked the beginning of a remarkable public-private partnership between our state, Iowa State University, agribusinesses, and ag commodity groups. And it was Dr. Borlaug and John Ruan Sr. who knew the prize would flourish where its roots run deep in the breadbasket of the world. And it was John Ruan III and the Ruan family, alongside Ambassador Quinn, whose steady hands helped it grow to international prominence. Together, they gave it a home at the beautiful Hall of Laureates and lifted the award to its rightful position in the world to be seen as the Nobel Prize for Food and Ag. One of my favorite traditions tied to the World Food Prize is the Global Youth Institute, where the intellectual seeds are planted for tomorrow's hunger heroes. It brings high school students together with leaders on the front line in the hunger fight, inspiring them to follow their passions and pursue college majors and careers in agricultural sciences and technology. And I add my congratulations to the students and the teachers being recognized tonight. When World Food Prize laureates are gathered in one place, it represents one of the greatest collections of hunger-fighting achievement in all of history. Tonight, we're blessed to have 16 laureates with us, and now we'll add another remarkable individual to this elite group of transformational leaders whose innovations have uplifted millions from the grip of hunger, poverty, and malnutrition. To our newest laureate, congratulations, as you have earned this most noteworthy international recognition in global food security. And it's with that in mind that I now proclaim Simon Groot of the Netherlands as the 2019 World Food Prize laureate.
In 1940, the Netherlands was plunged into World War II with an invasion on Dutch soil. Under foreign occupation, life for many became very difficult, with declining living standards and acute food shortages. The Dutch famine of 1944-45, called the Hunger Winter, saw the deaths of more than 18,000 people. But for all that, there was one small Dutch town that remained protected from the worst of the deprivations that gripped Holland. Enkhausen's saving grace was something that has been at the heart of the town's industry for centuries: seeds. Holland's world-class seed industry began near Enkhausen in the early 1800s, when our laureate's great-great-great-grandfather, Nanne, started producing and distributing crop seeds throughout the region. Over the centuries, his descendants built upon that business until Enkhausen was known the world over for its quality vegetable seeds. The hunger winter that engulfed the Dutch cities did not reach Enkhausen because of the town's strong connections to the region's farmers through the seed companies. In an unexpected way, seeds were the salvation for Enkhausen from the many hardships of World War II. This recollection of his childhood left a deep impression on a 10-year-old boy in Enkhausen who would represent the 6th generation of his family. He saw that in such a dire time as the Hunger Winter, the farmer connections his family had developed over a century and a half in the seed business could have a profound impact on alleviating the suffering the Dutch people shared. This experience was a prelude to his own groundbreaking work in the seed industry that would change millions of lives for the better. Born in Enkhausen in 1934, Simon Groot was the oldest of 4 children. As a boy, Groot was involved in the local Friends of Nature Boy Scout Club, sparking a passion for exploring the natural world that would remain near to his heart throughout his life. After graduating from Erasmus University Rotterdam in 1955, he completed 2 years of military service. Then, in 1958, his father called him back to the family company, Slausen Groot, where his 60-year career as a seedsman officially began.
I was born to be a vegetable seedsman, and I liked it. When I was 20 years old, I was not sure yet what I should do, but then my father said, you better join me, and I did what he said, and I joined him. I could see all the options to improve seeds and to improve the crops, and I enjoyed that very much.
In the 1960s and 70s, Groot traveled the world, even making it to Shenandoah, Iowa, actively pursuing technological innovations in the seed industry to bring to his own work. In 1965, Groot went on his first business trip to Indonesia to arrange seed production for smallholder. There in the highlands above Jakarta, he discovered a field planted with cabbages bred by his own company. Though this variety grew well throughout Europe, in Indonesia it was producing fewer heads. The variety, which had been bred to thrive in a temperate climate, had fizzled in the tropics. Groot was struck with the realization that there was a huge untapped opportunity to introduce hybrid cabbage bred for tropical conditions. When smallholder changed hands in 1981, Groot set out on a mission to bring what he had learned in the Netherlands to the tropics. Following in the footsteps of his forebears with the images of famine during World War II etched in his mind, he headed off to pioneer localized vegetable breeding and seed production in Southeast Asia. At age 47, he embarked on an exploratory tour, digging into the details of the seed industry in the region. Groot's sensibilities as a seedsman were inflamed by what he found in the poor quality seeds that Southeast Asian farmers had to struggle with. He saw the potential for improved high-quality vegetable seeds to make an enormous difference in the livelihoods of smallholder farmers.
I had observed during my first 20 years that the seed quality here was not as good as in the temperate country like Europe or North America, and that the farmers here were not getting very good quality seeds. And I never liked that. I thought farmers deserve good seeds everywhere.
In the Philippines, Groot found the ideal business partner in Benito Domingo, who had local connections to the seed trade, agriculture industry, and universities, as well as a passion for seeds. They went into business together in 1982. And to show their partnership between an Asian and a European, they named the firm East-West Seed. Starting with developing the Jade Star bitter gourd variety, Groot created the market for improved high-quality vegetable seeds, which did not exist in Southeast Asia at that time. The Jade Star was the very first locally developed hybrid vegetable variety in Southeast Asia. Groot's fanatic attention to detail in adapting vegetable varieties to local conditions was an essential part of serving as many smallholder farmers as possible. He introduced small, inexpensive packages of high-quality seeds that were tailored for smallholders to plant small plots of land. Seeing that farmers often needed assistance to learn how to optimize the benefit reaped from his seeds, Groot set up field training programs and demonstrations that taught farmers improved agricultural practices. These trainings grew into East-West Seed's knowledge transfer program. Today, 100 staff train more than 56,000 farmers each year in 8 countries in Asia and Africa, and aim to reach millions more through other media, such as crop guides translated into the local languages and instructions that are accessible to all education levels. As a result of better seeds and farming methods, farmers saw a dramatic increase in their yields and profits, doubling or even tripling their incomes. And consumers found greater availability and affordability of these nutritious vegetables in their local markets. The work of Groot and East-West Seed has led to a long line of beneficial developments in markets, farming operations, and rural revenue streams, resulting in huge economic impact that could not have been produced by public aid programs alone. More than 20 million farmers in 60 countries plant East-West Seed's 973 improved varieties of 60 vegetable crops on 28 million hectares. The high-quality, nutritious vegetables have reached hundreds of millions of consumers. especially women feeding their families at affordable prices. The red arrow of East West Seeds' logo is a household name among Southeast Asian farmers.
Every day you think about what can we do better to make us a better seed company and to make us a more useful company for the farmers. And, that's my number one passion. Better seeds for small farmers. The smiles of farmers, that makes me really happy.
When Simon Groot's great-great-great-grandfather began his work in the seed industry, the world would not have predicted the immense impact of high-quality seeds. Infused with the passion and knowledge of 6 generations, Simon Groot traveled halfway across the globe to ignite a vegetable seed revolution that today has reached half of the countries on the planet. For his visionary leadership and relentless passion for farmers, which has transformed the lives of millions of people around the world, Simon Groot is truly deserving to be named the 2019 World Food Prize Laureate.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2019 World Food Prize Laureate, Mr. Simon Groot. At this time, we invite the World Food Prize Chairman John Ruan III to join our laureate on the dais. We also are honored to invite the President of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, His Excellency, and the Ambassador André Haspels of the Netherlands, Dr. Gabisa Ijeta, the Chair of the World Food Prize Selection Committee, the Deputy Vice Minister of Agriculture of the Netherlands, Mariah Baines, and also from the Netherlands and a member of the World Food Prize Council of Advisors, the President of Wageningen University, Dr. Luis Fresco, to join Mr. Ruan in presenting the prize. The World Food Prize sculpture will now be presented to the 2019 laureate by the chairman of the World Food Prize Foundation, Mr. John Ruan III.
I now invite Chairman John Ruan and the presentation party to please return to your seats. And I now invite our laureate to offer his remarks.
There are too many important people in this room to even start calling out names. Finally, in this huge world of global agriculture, you have recognized the small guys, the vegetable farmers of Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Therefore, I'm very grateful to receive this award. My own philosophy from the beginning 40 years ago was to deliver quality seeds to these farmers and become their friend. And the best way to become the friend of the farmer is to give them the tools to make more money. The main tools are to provide them with high-quality seeds and the knowledge to make the best use of them. The real enemy of the farmers is lousy seeds. This award goes to agricultural scientists working on improvement of the major food crops. And now it's the time to pay more attention to the vegetable crops that deliver high nutritional value. And of course, as we learned during the past few days from the Rockefeller Foundation people, they can provide a source of better nutrition. But I'm just a simple seedsman who want to make a difference to farmers around the world, as my ancestors have done for their generations. I would like to thank the World Food Prize Foundation and its admirable leader, Ambassador Kenneth Quinn, and my business partners from the early days, and then especially my dear wife, Daisy, who has stood beside me for 55 years and let me go off and follow my dreams into remote bitter gourd fields, onion fields, and pumpkin fields. My children, Rutger, Art, and Maaike, all present here, and my other son, Jan, who could not be here today, they will carry on my legacy at East West Seed. Also the tireless staff of East West Seed, who shared faith in our common goals, and most of all, the millions of farmers who put their trust in us and made our company grow with their success. What has been the secret of our success? The science of developing better seeds, knowledge of what the markets demand, and education of the farmers, which we now call knowledge transfer. As it was already mentioned on the show, we are currently training more than 100,000 farmers per year, and our goal is to build that to 300,000 farmers over the next 5 years. And most of the expansion will be in Africa. How do I see the future of growing vegetables? It will start with transplanting the knowledge of what we have learned in Asia to Africa. We now want to professionalize the vegetable farming industry of Africa, like we did and continue to do so in Asia. More income for the farmers and more healthy food for the local and urban populations. We want to help the next generation of farmers to stay in the business of their fathers and to develop new innovations in farming, as well as basic entrepreneurial skills. And we are looking for partners who want to help us to modernize vegetable farming in Asia and Africa. Farmers who recognize the value of vegetables to farmers' income development and quality nutrition. Partners who will help us to empower the vegetable farmers of Africa in feeding its growing population. If you want to join us in that quest, please reach out to us. I'm extremely grateful to receive this prestigious award for the work I've done over the past 40 years. I look forward to sharing the prize money with the work our knowledge transfer team is doing on training smallholder farmers in Uganda how to grow healthy and nutritious vegetables like pumpkins and tomatoes. Looking back, our success has really come from sticking to our philosophy of being a true friend of the farmer. Because the small guys really do matter, and so do vegetables. Thank you very much.
Simon Groot. So Simon, I invite you to return to your seat. We have one more special presentation as part of our Laureate Award ceremony. So, you know, when Simon Groot arrived in the Philippines in the 1980s to start what would become this global vegetable seed revolution, it was a time that represented the confluence of several other revolutions, each with an interesting World Food Prize connection. At the International Rice Research Institute in Los Baños, the first World Food Prize laureate, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, was presiding over the continuation of the green revolution in rice that had started under World Food Prize laureate Hank Beechel and carried forward by laureate Gurdav Kush, who is here tonight. Gurdav, good job for you. Now, at the same time, the people power revolution led by President Corazon Aquino turned out a dictator and dramatically returned the country to democratic rule. And I was the deputy U.S. ambassador at the American Embassy supporting her mission at a very dangerous time. And my family, my wife, Lei Sun, my 3 children, Davin, Shandon, and Kelly, we were all there during that time. And I was so proud when years later, President Aquino accepted my offer, my invitation to become a member of our World Food Prize Council of Advisors. Then there was a revolution in music as 2 Filipina teenagers, Leah Salonga and Monique Wilson, were chosen to play the lead in a new Broadway musical, Miss Saigon. My wife, Lei Sun, and I, she's sort of my Miss Saigon, we were married in Saigon, we joined in sending them off to Broadway at a reception at our embassy. So I asked myself, wow, who could we find to bring all of these things together? And I was stymied till I talked to my daughter, Kelly. And she lives in London. And she told me there was this amazing singer from the Philippines starring in Hamilton in London. So I got in touch with her, and she has flown here to be with us tonight to recall all of those revolutions and to honor Simon Groot's great achievements. Tonight she will perform Bayan Ko to honor the late President Aquino, a medley of songs from her Broadway career, including The Movie in My Mind from Miss Saigon, and in honor of our distinguished laureate who has risen to the challenge of changing lives of millions of farmers in over 60 countries. She will close her program with the popular smash hit, Rise Up. Please welcome the international Broadway star, Rachel Ann Go.
sa kaniyang palad, nag-alay ng ganda at dilag, at sa kaniyang yumil at ganda, dayuhan ay nahalina. Bayan ko, pinihag ka, nasadlag sa dusa. Ibon man may layang lumipad, kulungin mo at umiiyak. Bayan pa kayang sakdal dilag, ang di magnasang makaalpas. Pilipinas kong minumutya, pugad ng luha ko't dalita. Aking adhika, makita kang sakdal. Ang di magnasang makaalpas. Pilipinas kong minumutya, pugad ng luha ko't dalita. Aking adhika, makita kang sakdal. Makita kang sakdal. Laya.
Thank you very much. Good evening. I hope everyone is having an amazing time. My name is Rachel Ango, and it's my honor to be part of this prestigious event. Thank you so much for having me here. And you've heard earlier that I am from the Philippines. Yes, indeed. I'm a very proud Filipino, and I'm currently doing a musical in London called Hamilton. And speaking of musicals, these next few songs that I'm about to sing are from some of my favorite musicals. So if anyone in here know the words, please sing along. This is for everyone.
I dreamed a dream in time gone by, when hope was high and life worth living. I dreamed that love would never die. I dreamed that God would be forgiving. But the tigers come at night, with their voices soft as thunder, as they tear you apart, as they turn your dream to shame. And still I dream will come to me, that we will live the years together. without a home, without a friend, without a face to say hello to. But now the night is near, now I can make believe he's here. On my own, pretending he's beside me, all alone, I walk with him till morning. Without him, I feel his arms around me. And when I lose my way, I close my eyes and he has found me. And I know it's only in my mind that I'm talking to myself and not to him. And although I know that he is blind, still I say there's a way for us. I love him, but every day I'm learning. All my life I've only been pretending. Without me, his world will go on turning. A world that's full of happiness that I have never known. I love him. I love him. I love him, but only on my I will not cry, I will not think. I'll do my dance, I'll make them drink. When I make love, it won't be me. And if they hurt me, I'll just close my eyes and see the movie in my mind, the dream that fills my head, a man who will not kill, who'll fight for me instead. He'll keep the fear at bay, so no one comes at night to blow the dream away. Dream, the dream I long to find, the movie in my mind. So if you can't find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. And if I'm flying solo, at least I'm flying free. To those who ground me, take a message back from me. Tell them how I'm defying gravity. I'm flying high, I'm defying gravity. Soon I'll match them in renown. And nobody in all of us, no wizard that there is of us, is ever gonna bring me down. Bring me
Thank you. Thank you very much. Before I sing my last song for tonight, of course, I would like to congratulate all the award recipients. Congratulations, everyone, and of course, to our 2019 World Food Prize winner, Mr. Simon Groot. Sir, congratulations. And thank you for coming to my country and helping my home. Thank you so much, sir. And of course, sir. Salamat po. He just said salamat po. I'm gonna do a bless. Salamat po means thank you so much in Tagalog in my country. Thank you so much. Salamat po, Mr. Simon Groot. Thank you. I appreciate you. And what an honor to meet you tonight. Thank you so much. And of course, to Ambassador Kenneth Quinn, sir. Thank you so much. And to your daughter, thank you for inviting me here tonight. And for everyone, thank you so much for making this possible. Everyone is so inspirational, and thank you for having me here, sir.
We love the Philippines, and we feel so close to all Filipinos, and you've made us tonight feel even closer to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please come back.
Yes.
We will tour you around, sir. Thank you so much. I believe this next song is perfect for what we are celebrating tonight. It talks about perseverance and hope. And I pray that before we leave this place, our hearts will be filled with joy and peace, and that we will have the courage to continue to make a difference in our world. This is for you.
Broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we're gonna walk it out. Move mountains, we're gonna walk it out. Move mountains. And I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, high like the waves, I'll rise up, in spite of the ache, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, and I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need, all we need is hope. For that we have each other. For that we have each other. Yeah. We will rise, we will rise, and we'll rise. Oh, we'll rise. day will rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. Yeah. We'll rise up high like the waves to rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. God bless you all.
Rachel Ann, go. Rachel Ann, Rachel Ann, come back out here. Come back out here. Real.
One more time.
One more round of applause for Rachel Ann, go.
Thank you. You're all amazing. Thanks.
You made this a night to remember. Wow. And that, I'm out of breath, I don't know. Everyone watching, everyone here, thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for helping me celebrate my 20 years. Thank you for a lifetime of memories. Say, I'll see you next year, but I won't, but it's been an incredible ride, and I'm so grateful to all of you for being here tonight and for all we've done over the last 20 years. Thank you so very much. Good night.
It was a night of celebration, music, and dialogue on this special night for the 2019 World Food Prize. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's look at food and hunger issues. This year's laureate was honored for empowering millions of farmers in more than 60 countries to enhance vegetable production and improve diets across the globe. These are the issues that stand as a reminder of the life and legacy of Iowa native Norman Borlaug and its tradition carried on by the World Food Prize and its latest laureate. Before we go, another thank you to Ambassador Ken Quinn for his unwavering support for the World Food Prize here in Iowa and this broadcast on Iowa Public Television. For our entire IPTV crew here at the State House in Des Moines, Iowa, I'm Delaney Howell. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Funding for the 2019 World Food Prize ceremony is provided by Friends, the Iowa Public Television Foundation, and a grant from the W.T. and Edna M. Dahl Trust.